always followed my own direction. No one can pull me out. I've always felt different from the others. I'm running away now. Fears are fading, won't stop bleeding. 'Cause I'm sick of standing up beside it going south. I'm sick of never being able to cross the line. I'm sick of pretending everything is fine. You got it, you're just a fucking freak like me. Burning inside, but I am alive. I'm not the one that you used to know. I've always hated to act like the others. I found my way to. Fears are fading, won't stop bleeding. Fears are fading. 'Cause I'm sick of standing up instead of going.
Everyone, this is Chris Best alongside OMD. Karl Karufel is away this week on for personal leave. OMD, how are you doing tonight?
I am hanging in there, my brother. I am hanging in there today.
We've got one heck of a show tonight here. We've got Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch. We're seeing a little bit of a video package already. We're coming to you live from Winnipeg, Manitoba tonight, which very much excites me because the last time Raw was in Winnipeg, that was a very hot crowd from what I remember.
I really don't remember the show the last time they were in Winnipeg.
I believe it was earlier this year, if I'm not mistaken. But I just remember the crowd being very hot.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't remember offhand.
But at the same time, I mean, like, the majority of Canadian audiences are hot for wrestling as it is.
We absolutely are. We absolutely are.
Oh, and we got the Judgment Day with no Finn Balor coming to the ring.
Okay, I'm still finishing up the opening video package, so.
Well, let me know when you see the three of them standing at the top of the entranceway.
Well, their intro music just hit, so.
Okay, so I'm probably about 20 seconds, 30 seconds ahead of you, maybe.
Yeah. And I am watching on the USA feed tonight.
So if you get picture in picture, gotta let us know what's going on.
Absolutely.
But this is a little strange. No Finn Balor, so.
They did the same thing last week, though. Just remember that.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, is this
a foreshadowing what's to come? Maybe.
Exactly. Is it a foreshadowing? Is it, like we saw with the bloodline and the cracks in the bloodline and the foundation breaking? Is that what this is, or?
I gotta say, in retrospect, these after thinking about the SummerSlam main event, I don't know if I'm a fan of the Usos breaking up. I really don't know yet.
It's going to be interesting to see where they go.
Yeah.
And I'm going to guess Bob is our friend Bobby. So, hello, Bob.
Welcome to the show, Bob. Let us know how you found us, man.
Please.
Rhea's got Dirty Dom tattooed under her eye again this week.
Okay. Oh, I'm just getting the video package from last week of Cody pinning Finn.
I'd also like to throw out a congratulations to Rhea Ripley, who is now engaged to one Buddy Matthews.
Yes, she is.
I saw that coming a while ago because I know how close they are from both their Twitter feeds.
All right. No, Bob, we unfortunately don't remember you. Sorry.
Hey, I'm this is only my second time in 5 months hosting this show.
Right. Right. Karl Karufel is not here tonight. He would probably be the one that remembers you the most. So we do apologize. Please
Yeah.
let us know how you found us. Please engage in the conversation. So we are sorry.
So Rhea, I noticed last week and even right now, she has become that glue that holds together the Judgment Day right now.
She has been for quite some time.
Yeah. Because I know she had to step in between Damien and Finn last week, and right now she's stepping in between Dom and Damien.
Yep.
And JD on his way to the ring. Sorry, OMD, but I just got excited about that.
No worries.
So I read that the whole reason why they've basically went back to JD doing this is because Vince is currently out, so Hunter is now doing the stories he wants to do.
Right. Well, now I'm getting JD McDonough on his way to the ring. So,
and this is something we've all wanted. So
yes. Vince has not had as much of an impact on creative as what we've been led to believe, to my understanding.
no, he hasn't. He's more or less just offered suggestions, and
Yeah.
Hunter took some of them, I suppose you can say.
Right. Okay. Well,
But
okay,
he,
Bob,
from
Bob.
what I read,
Go ahead. Sorry.
from what I read, he was pretty adamant about this whole JD McDonough and the Judgment Day thing.
Right. So Bob says he thinks it was before the summer, but he forgets who was there.
Oh, so I might have been there because I've only missed maybe 4 watch-alongs since I started.
Yeah, it may have. Well, I may well have been there. I may not have been. It might have been one of those nights where I took the night off because of a rough day at work and just needed to rest and clear my head. Dom getting the booze again.
Oh, that heat, man! I love it.
Right.
Every time that boo happens, it reminds me of my first NOWA show under He Who Shall Not Be Named, and the heat that I got for interfering in a match that night.
Right.
So the story goes, I was supposed to be like the Diesel bodyguard to one Mr. Business,
Right.
Valak, as he was at the time as well.
Yes.
And he was in a match against CP Morgan, and I remember all that day he was nervous about wrestling CP because CP is as strict as they come when working him in a match.
Right.
And the spot was Big Daddy T was the guest referee.
Right. Okay.
I had to reach in and pull Big Daddy T out and just smash his face up against the ring post. And the amount of heat I drew from that, I got in the ring and like started beating the shit out of CP Morgan. And I'm standing there, I'm like, yes, got the heat I need. You know what I mean? I got them in the palm of my hand. I was on a wave that night, you know?
Yep.
Okay, so Sammy just came running out and took out JD.
I've got Sammy at the top of the entrance ramp right now.
Okay.
And now he's going at it with JD. So
yeah. Okay, so we're about 15 seconds more or less now.
Yeah.
So did they ever say how long Kevin Owens is supposed to be out for?
No, they didn't. He's got a rib injury, and then Sammy's got the same elbow injury that John Cena had a number of years ago when he...
the burst the sack injury.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yep. So I'm wondering what they're going to do with the tag team titles, if anything, or if they're just going to keep them on Sammy and Kevin until they're able to defend them.
Well, I know you're not down for long for a Bursasac entry. That's why I was wondering about KO. So
Right. And now I am in commercial. I've got a gain commercial.
I've got a commercial for Chivago. Anyways, Bob coming in and saying, I think you guys were playing a game, not watching Monday Night Raw. So that might have been one of Bobby's shows or the Boar's Nest that he was watching.
It absolutely could have been. Do you remember the name of the show, Bob? We are missing some people here tonight. Okay, no, unfortunately, Bob does not remember the name of the show.
That's all good, man. As long as you're subscribed and watching and talking to us, it's all cool, man.
Absolutely. Please engage in the conversation. Ask questions, make comments. We appreciate them all.
My bird went quiet. I gave him fresh seeds beforehand, so he's probably down there munching away right now.
Okay. I'm just trying to think of how long I've been doing the Boar's Nest for with Bubba. I know it's been probably 3 months for sure. So it could have well been the Boar's Nest on Thursday nights, but I don't know.
And we got our pal, Scott Stanford, promoting all the Raws and SmackDowns that are coming to Canada in the next couple of weeks.
Right.
And WrestleMania.
Yeah. Well, tickets for WrestleMania, I believe, go on sale on Friday.
I'm so glad that they've made more stops in Canada since Hunter took over, to be honest with you.
Right. Right. But I mean, this again, like this literally leads to, and I said this before on Turnbuckle Talk, is you literally just had the other company do their Canada run.
Yeah.
Followed by WWE. You had WWE go to England for Money in the Bank. Now you've got the other company about to go to the UK.
Yeah.
So it's starting to almost feel like that WCW versus WWE war all over again. And, you know, we're going to follow it up. Pay-per-view in the same country. We're going to do a tour of whatever country. We're going to...
It sort of reminds me of that one time. Remember when DX invaded Nitro?
Yep.
And they were... Nitro was in Norfolk, and I think Raw was in like the next town over, so they were like an hour apart.
Yep. Yep.
I remember watching both Raw and Nitro that week just to see, because I wanted to see how WCW was actually going to react on screen from that.
Right. Well, Bob remembers me, so that would mean it was probably the Boar's Nest on Thursday night.
Oh, and Bob was at AEW Collision just a few weeks ago. Let us know, man. How was that show? What was the crowd like for you?
How was that experience?
Never been to another show other than like local indies. I've never been to any other major show other than WWE. I've wanted to go to WCW when they came to the Air Canada Center a couple of times.
Right. Actually, speaking of which, I know I've mentioned this before. I didn't get them again, but I found the Masters of the WWE Universe at Dollarama. The one in the East End only has Goldberg and Stephanie now. I haven't checked any of the others. But
I wonder if the Dollarama by where I live has it.
I can actually check there tomorrow.
You're gonna.
Um,
Oh, right.
but
You work around the corner from me. So.
exactly. But today I was at Walmart and I found a classic, believe it or not, new generation Shawn Michaels Heartbreak Kid.
You should have picked up that figure, my friend.
I did not have $35.
Damn.
They also had an NWO Kevin Nash wearing the title for $35.
The well, obviously the world heavyweight, right?
Yes.
And Bob said he had a good experience there, which, from everybody that I've known that has gone to AEW live events, or live shows, they've all said it's been a rather fun experience. So,
Right.
but no, I've always wanted to go to a WCW show way back in the day as well.
Right. I mean, for me, and I mean, the same thing today. I would go to just about any company's live show if it was within a reasonable traveling distance and the ticket prices were reasonable.
Take a trip with Shiv every time GCW goes to Detroit.
Right?
Seems like they go to Detroit a lot, though.
They do.
But I will be at the CWE show coming here, and I'm so looking forward to that.
Yes.
Just to meet Jacques Rougeau,
That show is a week after my birthday. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Okay, so we have a match right now, actually, between Sami Zayn and JD McDonough, and so far it's actually been a pretty decent match. And I mean, what more can you expect out of these two?
But I mean, really, we haven't had a whole lot of JD McDonough on Raw to compete in the ring, so this is fantastic to see him actually in a match on Raw.
You can see the bubble on his where his injury is.
Oh yeah.
So there's one thing I've been seeing on WWE's website. They do shorts with Samantha Irvine showing her reactions to wins and her announcements. She's fantastic with her facial reactions to whoever wins.
Absolutely.
I love it. She's a fantastic ring announcer, I think.
She is. Big Joe, good evening, my brother. How are you?
Got Corporate Joe in the house. Saying good evening, everyone. Good evening, Joe.
So we are missing a few of our regulars, though. We're missing our buddy Leeds.
Yeah, no Leeds tonight. No JJ just yet. I know he's going to show up at some point.
Right. No, Karl is away on personal matters.
Yeah, he's got some personal stuff tonight that he's taking care of. Seeing a commercial right now for Twisted Metal on Paramount Plus here in Canada, or on Peacock in the US.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and they're not calling Samoa Joe as Samoa Joe. They're using his real name for this.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes, I saw that commercial on Friday night, I believe it was.
That's another show I have to watch just to see if it stacks up to the games.
I never actually played the games because I'm not a PlayStation guy.
Yeah.
I had a former roommate who was, and he played it all the time. He played, I believe it was Twisted Metal 2 religiously.
I used to play the last Twisted Metal game I played, and I still have it on my PS3 now. It was Twisted Metal Black. That was the last one I played. That was over 20 odd years ago, that one. And we got Christopher Douglas coming in saying What's up, Turnbuckle? How's it going, Christopher? Tell us how you found us, man.
Please, yeah, tell us how you found us, where you're from.
Just don't give us your credit card number.
That's right. Well, you can, but that's on you.
I'm very excited about this Raw coming next Monday. That's going to be in Quebec City.
Yes, first time ever in Quebec City.
That's why I'm excited about it, because I really want to see this, a new crowd, I guess you could say, you know?
Yep.
And we know how hot the crowd was in Montreal for Elimination Chamber earlier this year, so I'm expecting kind of a hot crowd again for Quebec City.
Right, absolutely. All right. So I've got a computer chair commercial.
We're back to the action here.
Oh, geez.
So I guess a
No.
bursa injury is something you can work through. I've never had
Mhm.
one.
Well, you can, but I mean, it's painful, and I mean,
Well, I mean, look at Sammy every time. Every time he gets a chance, he's trying to shake that pain out of his arm, you know?
right. I mean, and if you remember back when John Cena had it, I realized that he was going to do a movie as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look at how much long that essentially kept him out, and he forfeited the title to Daniel Bryan.
So I was watching, actually, you mentioned John Cena in movies. I was watching an interview with Margot Robbie today about her doing the Barbie movie, and she mentions that John Cena actually has a cameo in that movie.
Yes, he does.
He supposedly he plays a merman or something like that. I haven't seen the movie yet, so
I haven't seen the movie, but one of my coworkers took his daughter to see it.
yeah.
And so, yes, John Cena is in that. John Cena also has another movie coming out that he was filming in London around the same time as Money in the Bank, which is why he was able to make his appearance there.
Yeah.
That's going to have him wearing a dress and heels.
Okay, so I'm wondering already, is it going to be a Bosom Buddies movie or something?
No, I believe it's actually an action movie. I'm not sure. So
Already I'm interested, though.
Yep.
But you know what? For a guy you can't see, he seems to be everywhere.
Right. And then apparently Drew McIntyre has a movie that he is working on.
Yeah, that's why he only showed up for just a couple of the promos for the feud against Gunther and the title match, obviously.
Yep. No, he's doing a movie with one Batista.
I know Batista's done with wrestling, but how cool would it be if Batista and Drew McIntyre had a match against one another?
That would be cool now. I believe they did have one back in the day when Drew was the chosen one.
Yeah.
But that was then, and this is now. I mean, the way Drew has worked to reinvent and create himself and
get to where he is now.
Yeah.
So JD is doing some moves to get to work on that arm. Like right now, he's doing the yes kicks basically to the arm.
Okay, I just got Sammy rolling to the ropes, so.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That
and
looked
there's Finn Balor.
I think we're getting the finish right now. So
Yeah, it's looking like it. I just got the first false finish.
where JD rolled up Sammy.
Yeah. And I mean, you're looking at, we're now at 8:25. We had what, a 10-minute promo from the Judgment Day. And now we're looking at the end of this match coming up here.
And this was actually not that bad of a match. However,
No, it wasn't.
Did you get the finish already?
Just.
I kind of wish JD took the win on this one.
Right? But it was a way to build him up,
Yeah.
build up his credibility as a viable opponent on Raw. So I don't think JD really lost. I think he's getting over. This is the case of getting over without going over.
Yeah, this was designed to solidify the relationship between Finn and JD.
Yep.
Okay, so right now we've got Chelsea Green looking
Okay,
very.
well, I'm just getting the replay here of Sammy. So yes, as Chelsea is holding auditions, and Chelsea's got talent for the women's tag team championships.
Mhm.
Oh, excuse me.
Bless you. Okay. Whoa. Okay. I might like this. I don't know yet, though. Let me know when you've seen what I saw there, OMD.
I got it right now if it's what I think you're talking about.
So you saw Piper Niven jump in?
Yep.
I think I like it.
Right?
It's better than what I initially thought was going to happen
Right?
with a certain someone who's set to return. Or who's supposedly returning. We don't know if she's signed yet.
Right. No, I was not ever expecting that.
No. For those who are wondering, my thought was Nia Jax. And thank God that did not happen.
No, Nia has been training, but right now there is nothing definitive.
Supposedly she's dropped a lot of weight too, so supposedly.
Yes, and she has been training with Natalia and somebody else. I can't remember who else offhand.
It definitely wouldn't have been Kyrie because she's still finishing up her obligations in Japan right now.
Yes. Kyrie has 2 matches, September 2nd and September 8th, and that is it.
Yeah. Did you watch her press conference? She left it very vague, but it was very obvious where she's going. You know?
No, I did not watch it.
No. The way she said it was like, after I'm done my obligations, I'm not sure where I'm going next. I mean, but it's already clear. We already know she's signed with the WWE.
Right.
She said something along the lines of, I have unfinished business in America as well. So,
right.
but if anything, when Kyrie does return, I really would not mind it if she comes in to challenge Io Sky. That's what I want to see out of her.
I would too. What I would like to see is, and I'm really hoping we don't get a new iteration of the Kabuki Warriors.
No, because I think I need Kyrie and Asuka to stay apart for a bit.
Yep. I'm not even going to say apart. I'd like to see that sort of be her welcome back feud.
Yeah. And then we build to Io and Kyrie.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see, in all honesty, Kyrie being the surprise return at War Games if a team needs a mystery partner.
That would give her enough time, I think.
Exactly. Yep. So I know with everything that's happened on SmackDown and Jey Uso quitting, I've been getting a lot of questions in, is he gone? Is he done? And
I've been getting them a lot too. Like, a lot of people have been coming to be online. Is he actually done? I'm like, no, he's not.
No, he's not.
Supposedly, though, his contract is set to run out, and he's just taking time off to negotiate a new deal. But
yeah, apparently, like, his contract is up this week. And then and the part that had me confused, but I did figure it out, was the fact that his no compete runs out 5 days before All In.
yeah, that's the other thing. I saw a lot of, and I hate to use this term, but AEW fanboys. I've seen a lot of them saying that, you know,
Right. But I was wondering, like, how is his non-compete, which is normally 90 days, up in a matter of 2 weeks? But the only thing I could think of is the fact that there was no injury time added on, and the fact that he's honored all of his contractual commitments.
Even so, it's still 90 days regardless.
Right.
My brain thought of this too, and it's probably like a way out there thought, but what if Jey Uso did this and basically pulled a Brian Pillman and completely went over to AEW anyways? It's not likely, but because his family is WWE through and through.
Right. And I mean, especially when we're supposedly getting Rikishi returning for Payback.
Yeah, Rikishi kind of let that one out of the bag there, didn't he?
Yep.
But now I'm wondering, because the supposed rumor was that he was going to ref Jay versus Jimmy, but I'm wondering if Jimmy now gets the shot at Roman.
Right? You could well see it. What I'm going to say is,
I don't think Jimmy's ever gotten a world heavyweight title shot yet, has he?
No, he hasn't. What I'm going to suggest is that's one you need to hold on to, is let Jimmy establish himself.
Yeah.
Save that for the Rumble. Then you can have Jay return so that, I mean, both of those guys have stated that they want to face each other one-on-one at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That is their lifelong dream.
So right now we have Imperium out at ringside. When's this Chad Gable match supposed to happen?
I have no idea because I've got an interview with Cody on my screen.
Well, they're showing what happened last week with Imperium and Alpha Academy there.
Okay, my guess is the match with Chad Gable is going to be at Payback.
I kind of hope so. Gable needs a pay-per-view payday. He hasn't had one in a little while.
Right?
Other than maybe, I think he was in the Battle Royal at SummerSlam, but
Yes, he was.
well, what we actually have is Imperium at ringside. Gunther is standing on the announce table.
Yep. Now I'm getting the recap of last week, so
Yeah. I kind of find it interesting that Gunther's doing this, standing on the announce table doing his promo thing. I kind of like that. Adds a bit
right?
of a different look to cutting a promo out in front of the crowd. You know, one person I wouldn't mind seeing challenge Gunther if he were able to get back in the ring? The man sitting behind Gunther right now, Wade Barrett. I think they'd put on a great match. I don't think Wade can do it anymore, though.
No.
And that's a pisser, too, because I always thought he was a great talent.
He was.
Still think all these years later, SummerSlam 2010, he should have won. Him and the Nexus should have won that match.
Oh, absolutely.
So Bob coming back here telling us the AEW Collision he went to was the Owen Hart tournament finals, where Willow won the Owen Hart women's tournament and Ricky Starks won the male one. And from what I understand, I didn't get to see that show, but from what I understand, those were actually some pretty entertaining matches.
Right. I haven't seen it either.
Man, we got Carl's favorite out there on at the entranceway now, alongside Chad Gable. This has been a pretty promo-heavy show so far.
I'm going to disagree. I mean, yes, it started off with the 10-minute promo, but then we got a 20-minute match.
Yeah, and that's, well, we're only 40 minutes into the show already, so.
Right.
You know, for like months on end before they actually fully moved her on to join Alpha Academy, I really did not get why Maxine was doing this, but now I'm all for it.
Yep.
She fits in much better than she did with the Maximum Male Models, and I thought she fit in pretty well with them too. So
She did. She did. Absolutely.
Chad Gable coming out and challenging Vinci right now. What do you make of that?
I'm not there yet.
Or I don't know if that's happening now. So Bob's saying in the first match at Collision was a tag team match, and a lot of people say it was one of the best tag team matches ever. Can you tell us, Bob, who was in that match? Because as OMD and I had said, we didn't get a chance to catch that show. Okay, Kaiser. Kaiser trying to put the moves on Maxine right now. You'll see it, OMD.
He's addressing her now.
Yeah. FTR and the Bullet Club. I can see why that would have been a fantastic match.
Yes.
FTR.
And Bullet Club.
Yeah. FTR did anything that they do is nothing short of extraordinary. So
Right.
they are one of few people who have benefited from leaving WWE.
Yes. However, I'm not looking forward to FTR versus the Young Bucks 3 at All In because
I'm kind of tired of them too.
I don't care about the Young Bucks.
So here's the thing when it comes to Young Bucks nowadays, I don't care for them myself either, but I found myself, I watched a bunch of, as I said, Pluto TV for here in Canada has classic Impact Wrestling. I watched one recently and the Young Bucks were there when they were Generation Me.
Yes.
And I forgot how good they actually used to be.
Right.
When I watched
Where on Pluto TV is classic Impact Wrestling?
There's a whole channel just devoted to Impact Wrestling on there.
Really? I
Yeah.
am going to have to look this up because I have Pluto TV.
I do too. I have it on my phone. It's but yeah, there's a whole channel there. Just it's all kinds of just classic Impact in like 60 minutes or whatever they call it.
Okay.
But it's mostly matches from like 9 or 10 years ago, I would say. That's how I've been able to find old Chelsea Green matches, like you told me to look up.
Right.
And I did find a bunch of them, and yeah, I can see why you guys have been fans of her for so long.
Right. As the hot mess, Laurel Van Ness.
Yep. All right, guys, and we're here at a commercial break.
Yes, we are.
Not as many as there have been in past Raws, so that's not a bad thing.
No. Not at all.
Oh no. So I've been watching on YouTube. There's this guy on YouTube. I don't know if you know him, but Grimm's Toy Show. He does a lot of like childish wrestling kind of things. And he recently put out a video that showed all of the current AEW and WWE stars he's had on his show. and it actually
Okay.
it actually blows my mind how many he's had there. He had
Wow.
he's had MJF, he had Gigi Dolan, he's had um, Max Caster is one he talks about. He had even past stars like Enzo Amore and No Chin there. I can't think of his name.
James Ellsworth.
That's it. He's had a bunch of them, and it's like, how did this guy get all these future stars? Like, what?
Bob saying it when he went to AEW, there were 3 shows: Collision, Ring of Honor, and Battle of the Belts.
And more ROH. And you know what? I've always
Wow.
wanted to go to an ROH show as well because
Absolutely.
my favorite thing about watching ROH shows from the past and to a certain extent today, the crowd is my favorite thing.
Absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong, like some of their talent have been absolutely phenomenal. And I'm not talking about the guys who have hit the big time. I'm not going to sit there and talk about, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Jay Lethal.
Daniel Bryan, CM Punk.
Right.
But more like the smaller guys, like I know he does a lot of flippy shit, but Jack Evans for one thing.
Yep. And I'm even going to go back and, I'm going to throw out 2 names that I'm sure our fans here already know about, but I'm going to suggest Kevin Steen and El Generico.
Hey, that's my PS4 name. So
You're El Generico?
yeah, that's my PS4 name.
Okay.
Although when I play people online, they call me El Genrico or El Gene Rico, I should say.
Okay, that's...
Okay, so we are getting Vinci and Chad Gable. I thought I heard Kaiser say, hey, he wants a tag match instead.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Which is good because we haven't. It feels like forever since I've seen Vinci wrestle a match. So
right. Now, and again, I'm going to sit here and say this: I'd love to see Vinci go over because Gable's already got the Intercontinental title match.
Yeah.
You've got the Vinci on quote unquote on thin ice with Imperium.
Yeah.
So, if you get Vinci with the victory over Gable, Kaiser with the victory over Otis last week. Right now, I mean, it sort of would kill Gable's momentum for him to lose this match. But
it doesn't. It slows it down, but it doesn't necessarily kill it.
Right. Bob saying it was cheaper than SmackDown for all of it. I would imagine. I know when AEW was in Toronto, I looked at ticket prices and it was ridiculously overpriced to go.
Yeah, that's what stadium is it they go to?
That was at Scotiabank Arena.
Oh, it was the Scotiabank show, not the other one?
Yeah.
That would explain why. That's Scotiabank's prices.
No.
Oh, yeah?
No. It's not Scotiabank's prices because the arena does not set the prices for the tickets.
No, I know. That's the company.
Yeah, MLSE.
Yeah.
Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment sets the ticket prices for their franchises. This is AEW ticket prices. The cheapest I found, and this is the cheapest I found, was $145 for a nosebleed.
And see, when I went to Unforgiven at Scotiabank, that was about the price of ringside.
Wow.
This was 2006, though,
Right. I know I did a Raw SmackDown Super Show a number of years ago, just before Christmas.
Yeah.
with a friend of mine, and I think that was $300 for 2 tickets. But I mean, we did not have bad seats.
For those super shows, is that are you paying the price of tickets for one show, or are you paying for 2 shows?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I've always wondered that when they used to do those shows.
I mean, because that was the night that I had. We had Rey Mysterio versus Shawn Michaels.
What a fantastic match that would have been.
And well, John Cena wound up in a mixed tag match against Santino and Beth.
Was that when he teamed up with Trish?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I remember that show.
I was there. Now, it was a long, long day because my buddy had worked nights the night before, and then we left, drove down that morning, and then drove back right after the show.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
So Bob is coming in and saying his seats were perfect because you could watch each match without having to look at the screen. And that brings me to, again, I bring it up like every week, but when SummerSlam 04, I sat under the hard cam, so I had the best view for everything. I could see the entrances, no problem, could see the ring, no problem, could see the action around the ring, no problem.
Right.
Unfortunately, I wasn't on screen, so.
No. The 2 WrestleManias I was at, X8 and 23,
yeah,
because of my positioning for X8, I was the last row on the floor at the top of the entrance ramp.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, when the pyro hit, like, I felt it.
Oh, yeah, because where I was for 04, there was me, like, under the hard cam, and then there was the SummerSlam set, basically.
Nice.
So I know what that's like. I felt Kane's pyro. I felt Edge's pyro. I felt Randy Orton's pyro. Felt all the pyro, you know.
I also had Saliva and Drowning Pool play live that night.
Oh, right up against your ear, basically.
Yep. And WrestleMania 23, I was just off the floor in the risers section, which were fantastic seats, but it's hard because that's when you get everybody standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down.
See, that was my trouble at a house show I went to in London, Ontario. I was the last row on the floor seats, and again, people standing up, sitting down, sitting up, standing down. And there's my brother Liam. I'm sure you remember him.
Yep.
11 years old, couldn't see a damn thing. I'm like, well, just stand up on the chair, dude.
Yep. You know what? Same thing happened to my friend's kid at a house show in Hamilton.
Yeah.
But with WrestleMania 23, if you go back and watch it, where the ECW originals came down through the crowd, I was 4th seat over from the aisle.
Nice. I'm gonna have to go back. I have the collector's edition for that DVD set. So.
Nice. Well, in honor of our missing host, I will hit the non-sponsored Dr. Pepper.
I didn't even get a chance to go out and get Dr. Pepper today, so I am drinking from my Rogue Energy starter cup. Just drinking some water out of it, but just let me see here. Give me one moment, trying to find it. Where is it? If you go to rogueenergy.com, scroll along here using OLE Pods, you will be able to use the promo code OLE Pods, and you'll get 10%, not just on your first order, but for every order you make on there. And let me tell you, man, they've got some of the most fantastic drinks I've ever had. OMD, I recommend you order from there if you ever get the chance to.
I will absolutely do my best. Mr. Parrish says, hello, boys. Or, hey, boys. Parrish, what's going on, buddy? Hurry up and get home from work.
Yeah, man, hurry up and do your the parish run-in.
We are awaiting and anticipating your run-in, your scheduled interference.
Scheduled interference. I like it. So this Quebec City show still kind of concerns me, though, that they're still saying that tickets are still available.
Oh, probably. They
Yeah.
probably said tickets were sold out, and now because there's a week before, they can release another block or two.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because sometimes they'll slow roll out the tickets.
Right?
Parish. Well, maybe I won't. Okay, so we are moving on to a match that I think is going to be a very interesting match right now.
Okay, I'm still in the middle of a Domino's commercial.
Well,
And now
you'll see what we're going to get next.
Now I'm getting a PGA Tour commercial. Yippee ski.
The only time I care about PGA is when I'm playing it on my PlayStation. I don't even really watch it. I like playing the video games, though.
Yep, interesting.
I'm for this.
Right?
And I'm sure if Karl were here, he'd be like, I want this too.
Yep. Oh,
Hell
I mean,
yeah,
I'm all
man.
for this.
How's it going, Elliot? Thank you for checking us out here to let us know how you found us. Obviously, you found us through Twitch. But how's it hanging, my man? So, I don't know why, but for some reason, watching Otis do these jiggles and shakes is totally giving me Jimmy Del Rey vibes.
Oh, jeez. You know what I don't get, and I'm not a fan of it, is like Otis has the singlet on. He's got the tights on. Take the T-shirt off.
Yeah, I've never really been a fan of wrestlers wearing T-shirts. To some extent, I understand why they do it. Like Sammy KO, that's part of their gear. That's part of their whole getup, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, Sammy used to wrestle without a shirt.
Yes.
Now it's, you know what? Like, why?
Oh, Elliot's saying he's found us on YouTube, even though we're showing that he's watching us through Twitch.
Yes. All right. Interesting. Which of the YouTube pages did you find? Was it Turnbuckle Studios or the OLE? Okay, wonderful.
Well,
wonderful.
thank you.
That's awesome. Now, please do us a favor. Hit the like and subscribe button. And please, please enable all notifications for when we go live.
Let you know, and don't be afraid to check out not just the Raw Watch Along, but all of our content we have. We have a lot of fantastic content on our channel.
We do. We do. I don't even get to keep up with it all.
I try. I really do try. But do what I do, OMD. Just have it on in the background. Go clean your house and have it on in the background. Listen to some Parrish and Bobby on Bustin' Out or something like that, you know?
Right? Elliot says, I already know I was the person talking to you.
Oh, that...
Okay, have you been here then before, Elliot, or?
Pretty sure it's Bob that's talking to us through Twitch right now.
Oh, okay.
I might be wrong on that one. I don't know.
You were dead on.
I was right. I called it. Okay, so we are getting quite a bit of a knockdown, like straight up fist fight between these two, essentially.
Okay.
And I'm kind of liking it.
Right.
Like right now, we're seeing serious Otis, and eventually, I know we're going to see him try to do the Caterpillar.
Right? And the DX chop there from Otis.
Yeah. Oh, there it goes, OMD. You'll see in a minute. He actually took the shirt off.
Oh.
And Bob over on YouTube now. He's doing what I do some nights.
Hey, it's all good. It
Hey, if
leads
it
to
gets
more
the view-
followers and subscribers.
If it gets the views on all of our socials or all of our where we
Yep.
stream from, by all means, do it.
Was that an attempted stomp from Gunther?
Yeah, but I think Otis was slightly off on that one.
Well, now
As
we've
you
got
can
video
see-
bro Bobby Munson. Good evening, Bobby.
Mr. Munson.
How are we doing, buddy?
Yeah, so as I was saying, I think Otis was slightly off there because you could see him get to his knees and move to a proper position, you know?
Right.
But the fact that, I didn't even see that afterwards. The fact that Gunther got him up for a powerbomb.
How did I miss that?
And that's how we won the match.
Wow. No, I missed that. I saw the missed stomp, and then I was looking into the camera to talk to Bobby.
Bobby's doing some editing. Thought he would listen to the show while he edits. Been a bit of a crazy day for him. Bobby, I'm working on those timestamps for you tonight for anything you want for clips. So, or I should say anything that we would find interesting for clips.
Yep.
So we got Judgment Day in the back, yeah, trying to settle everything.
Yep.
And of course, a promotion right now because we're getting Cody and Finn in the main event tonight. I'm going to say. But up next, we are going to see exactly what happened at the end of SmackDown. And OMD, you and I have already talked about this earlier in the show.
Okay. So Elliot coming back, or Bob, do you think WWE is the best it has ever been?
Right now,
It's
yes.
See, I'm gonna say no. I mean, it's getting a lot better. Things have absolutely picked up,
Yeah.
but again, it's until they can go back to that TV 14 rating.
See, I think we can. Are we not already back at the TV 14 rating?
I'm not sure. Now, and I'm okay with a lack of blood. I am okay with all of that.
Bobby coming in, no on TV 14, and I kind of understand why, because Bobby hated
And
the Attitude Era.
I'm not going to sit here and say it has to go back to the Attitude Era.
No.
But when you can let the wrestlers have a little more creative freedom on their promos and all of that, which I think we're starting to see under Triple H, then it will be the best it's ever been. So, but no, I can appreciate Bobby's opinion.
Yeah.
I can understand it.
He says the Attitude Era set wrestling back by at least a decade. Creative freedom on promos is fine if who is delivering them is capable, for sure. And I agree with that.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
There are dudes who have been given creative freedom who can't cut a promo if their life depended on it.
Right. I think I'm not going to sit here. I don't agree with Bobby so much saying that the Attitude Era set wrestling back 10 years. It was all of the external competition, and it was a case of the Smiths trying to keep up with the Joneses in that situation between WWE, WCW, and to a lesser extent, ECW at the time.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to do their own thing and put out an innovative product, it was a matter of copy and paste.
Well, what they were doing with the Attitude Era as well is they were taking a look at what everybody else was doing on TV, and TV was a lot more edgier back then. Like we had Jerry Springers, we had Maury, I guess you can say to a certain extent. We had, as Vince Russo called it, we had crash TV back then. We had a lot of garbage TV back then.
Absolutely. Absolutely we did. Oh, I completely agree with Bobby on this one, saying setting women back as well. 100%.
1,000%.
I completely agree. I hope we never go back to the lingerie pillow fights and the bra and panties matches. And
I want to say, like, when Sable won the women's title, it set women's wrestling back. Because she, in my personal opinion, did not deserve that title.
No. Yeah, there was definitely a lot of Jerry Springer style TV, and but it was, you know what? Each company was picking up the bits and pieces that the others would let go.
Right.
So if ECW let somebody go, WCW would sign them
and then
bury them.
Crash. I mean, look at what they did to Mike Awesome.
Right? WCW let somebody go, WWE would bring them on and push them to the moon.
Yeah. Elliot coming in saying he agrees with himself.
Right?
But here, he said earlier here too, if they get more blood, it will be the best it ever has. Wrestling, I think when it comes to blood, there has to be some kind of a storyline relation to why blood needs to be in the match. Yeah, you can't. It's
not just a necessity. This isn't AEW. John Moxley.
I was gonna say with Moxley, you just can't have Moxley, for instance, coming out bleeding week after week for no apparent reason, and we have ourselves a Parish run-in as I'm talking about blood in wrestling as it is right now. Parish, what are your thoughts on blood in wrestling?
Just like blood in any other sports. If it happens, it happens. My thing is when it's overdone, like John Moxley, it gets a little bit redundant and it's kind of dumb.
Yeah. Well, like I was saying just beforehand, like if blood should only be in the match if it calls for it. Like if the storyline going into the match is like very intense, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, sometimes shit happens too. And like we look at like the Stone Cold, the the infamous Stone Cold thing that helps Austin 316 go to a whole new level. Becky
Yeah.
Lynch when she got punched in the face by Nia Jax, that made the man go to a whole new level. Sometimes it's the imagery of the blood that makes it better. Like I still remember Ric Flair bleeding and his blonde hair always turned to red. Same with CM Punk back when he was in Ring of Honor the first time around.
Right.
He had the blonde hair. So like the visual of blood is one or two things. It's either iconic or it makes it more gruesome, but at the same time, when it's done and it looks organic and real, it makes the match look more organic and real.
Yeah,
therefore
well,
makes it better.
To use a more recent example, when Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar, for instance.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was one where Randy Orton got split open the real way. And when people say the real way, it was by the...
And Chris Jericho got pissed off about it and tried to pick a fight with Lesnar.
Yeah. So Bobby Munson says sports where color happens need to make sense. Even combat sports, you do not need to see people bleeding all the time. Absolutely.
No, and even in combat sports, like in UFC, that's just pure accident when somebody gets busted open.
Right.
Yeah, and I can say in the 19 years that I wrestled, never once did I ever put a blade to my
right.
Same here, and the only time I ever got color was when a guy threw a ladder at my head, and the corner just caught the top of my head.
Right.
Yeah, I got busted open by a few ladders. I got busted open by a few shots too. Like it happens. But when it does happen, it just it goes back to the imagery. It goes back to the realism.
Absolutely.
And it shouldn't just be overdone. It's like any other move. If you're doing it just to get a crowd reaction, you're a lazy worker.
Yep. And Basser coming in. Good evening, Basser.
Basser coming in. No, why the fuck would I want to roll around in John Moxley's blood? I'm fucking good. Okay, no thanks. My favorite blood-related MJF quote about Jordan caring about closing the pay-per-view.
Yeah. So, Mr. Parrish.
Yo.
Your name got mentioned in an article for CWE coming here.
I mean, that happens.
Because a gentleman who holds a victory over you named Mr. Tyson Hiller is on his way to come back here and wrestle in front of friends and family in Ontario.
Yeah, I remember wrestling him back in Lethbridge. It was a good time.
Yep.
And it apparently helps a lot more people to beat me than it was me beating them. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, not to borrow from your book there, Parrish, but you were on the PWI 500, so.
6 times.
6 times, yeah. But who's
6
counting,
times,
right?
6 times. I mean, it's a good number, That's how many beers come in a pack sometimes. It's how many abs that I wish I could have. It's right before a nice number like 9. So,
right. So we've got Riddle coming into the ring. He just did a promo with Drew McIntyre, who I didn't think was going to be on the show. I thought he was still off shooting that movie. Matt Riddle and a mystery partner taking on the Viking Raiders.
Interesting.
now, here's the question. Do we care more about the mystery partner than Matt Riddle at this point?
If they would have pushed to the mystery partner angle thing, I probably would have cared for the mystery partner.
Right.
Like if they would have said something last week, because I don't think they did.
But did you notice during the promo, the backstage interview, when Drew put his finger up the way Randy Orton used to?
I actually didn't see that.
Yeah, Drew put his finger right up to Riddle, just like, and I was waiting for him to do the key thing.
If it's Randy Orton in this specific way,
Can you imagine the pop?
Yeah, but I think they do Randy Orton dirty. Don't you think Randy Orton deserves a little bit bigger of a build
venue
for that though?
A venue than Winnipeg? Yeah.
Nah, I don't care so much about the venue, but like at least a build to it. Like it's Randy Orton. The guy's what, a 13-time world champion. Like,
and now are you going to bring the Viking Raiders out before you bring out Riddle's mystery partner?
I mean, why not? Oh.
So how was the workday, Parrish?
It's
OMD just took the question out of my head.
Oh, Bobby coming in and saying, hey, Winnipeg has a rich history of wrestling in their city. They also produced a Pop of Smokes as well. So let's ease up on Winnipeg.
I'm not knocking Winnipeg at all, Bobby, because a little history. I was born there myself, too.
Yeah.
I guess I did knock it a little bit there, so I do apologize for that. Yes, they do have an absolutely tremendous wrestling history.
Oh, they do. Their hockey history, though. Ooh.
Yeah, their team goes to Arizona and can barely stay there. Oops.
Well, and their team also lost to the Oilers every time the Oilers won the cup. So
yeah.
Thanks for being the Barry Horowitz to our anybody other than Skip. Also, tell Adam Knight he still lost a bet to me, so he still has to go to a Jets game dressed with an Oilers jersey.
Coming in Winnipeg is better than Edmonton.
Well, then you probably smoke just as much crack as the people in Winnipeg.
Yep.
And Bobby coming in, I'm just bugging anyway. Bus Papa smokes chops for being from there all the time.
Yeah, dude. He's from Saskatchewan, a place that doesn't even have a pro hockey team.
Right?
Their claim to fame is having the green Canada jerseys the 1 year Everly played. But they still can't tell me why they put a damn watermelon on their head. Outside of the fact it's green. So is a booger. Put a booger on your head.
Okay, I'm really cool with this. We're getting a vignette right now with Indy Hartwell.
Okay, I'm not there yet. So, Parrish, in case you missed it, Chelsea was given a new tag team partner tonight.
Oh, yeah. I read up on it.
Okay.
So you know it's Piper Niven?
Yeah. Which, by the way, fun fact, I was at the event where Piper Niven made her return to WWE.
That you were?
Yes, you were.
Bobby says he was not born in Saskatchewan. He was born in Calgary. He just got stuck there.
Oh, even worse. Even worse.
Oh, Indy and Rhea tonight.
Why you're
okay.
bad food.
Okay, yeah, I can get behind that match.
Chip Buddy shit is going on forever.
All right. We've had several Judgment Day and several JD McDonough appearances tonight.
Good.
Well, at least Indy's getting some TV time. So is Candice.
Yeah, we're getting...
you know what?
OMD,
it's not going to be Drew McIntyre as the partner tonight. There was a video that I saw earlier today of Riddle and the person I believe who is going to be his partner. He was handing out flyers looking for his best friend, ran into Riddle, and it was a back and forth between yes. It was a back and forth between Randy and who I believe his partner will be best friend.
I mean, part of me thinks it's Otis.
No, we just had Otis versus Gunther.
Yeah.
So Shinsuke had 2 matches last week. Why can't Otis?
So Bobby coming in, the Chip Buddy is making an on-screen debut on September 3rd.
And that's where our ratings plummet as much as the taste of a Chip Buddy.
At least, are you getting?
You want to see Karl hurl, then watch him witness me eating a Chip Buddy on screen.
Are we gonna get? Are you gonna bring
Bobby,
in?
Who needs the Chip Buddy to see him hurl when you're on screen?
Bob coming in. Why does everybody that cheers for the Edmonton Oilers look the same?
Because of Nickelback.
You mean with 5? You mean like with 5 rings? Yeah, it's kind of nice. You guys want to call Tom Brady to go because of his 6 rings? Then since 1979, Edmonton Oilers are to go to the NHL for Canadian hockey.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with, and I'm gonna say it now. I'm picking Ciampa as Riddle's partner.
Well, you're wrong.
Yeah. What? He used
I'm
to
not
be a
spoiling it,
former
OMD, but
champ,
you're wrong. But you were right on OMD where you said that the Raiders were going to come out before Riddle announced his mystery partner.
Now, here's my thing. Does Drew McIntyre turn on Riddle here? Because there's been rumors of Drew McIntyre turning heel for quite some time. So does he turn heel on Riddle tonight?
It would be nice, but that's not I don't think that's a productive enough storyline.
Not yet, but you gotta let it develop at some point.
And I guess you got to give something new for McIntyre and Riddle to do now too, eh?
Well, I mean, for me, Riddle can go the way of Ronda Rousey.
You want him to do an MMA's match against Shayna Baszler.
No, I want him out the door.
And Bob coming in. The Edmonton Oilers are overrated. How do they have 2 of the 2 best people in the NHL and still haven't gotten a cup with them?
Okay, this
you know what? In Chris's defense, and I'm going to say this in Parrish's defense, I'm a Leafs fan, so I've got the same issues.
But this is also coming from a guy with a Flames fan in his icon. And didn't Milan Lucic just go on a podcast and say we bitch slapped you guys out of existence when Johnny Gaudreau wanted to leave and Matthew Tkachuk left? So we're in your head. We're in free in there. We might as well just pick up the crap. I mean that you call the Saddle Dome, and you might as well just show you what a better arena looks like. But anyway, Bob, how are you doing? How are you enjoying Monday Night Raw?
And then Big Ben Bittner Vlogging and Gaming asks, what's up? So Big Ben, welcome. How did you hear about us? Where are you from?
Bob coming in saying, I don't listen to podcasts, so he has no idea.
That figures. Doesn't know what action seems like. Out of curiosity, Bob, are you an actual Flames fan? And if so, where can I make the donation?
We are getting a commercial break. Oh, goody.
Yeah, got another commercial for the network on Sportsnet right now, which I don't subscribe to that version of the network.
I only have it because of my TV cable package and whatnot.
So Big Ben coming in and saying he's from Virginia, and he just happened to search. He searched Raw reactions and found us.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yes, Raw
is awesome.
Absolutely.
And you can find,
it's been a good show
and you
tonight.
can find this watch along every Monday.
It was
Bob coming in and saying he was born in Calgary, went to a few Flames games. Yes. I unfortunately have never been to any NHL game myself.
And for Big Ben, well, now your Monday nights just got better because you are here with the Raw Watch Along.
Yeah. Hit up that subscribe, hit that bell, leave that like, and you'll be able to catch us every Monday night here.
And absolutely. Just to give you a warning, we slightly cover Raw. We enjoy it. We watch it. We talk about it. We bust each other's balls because that's what three dudes watching pro wrestling do.
That's right.
It's like I've said before to OMD. It's like a bunch. We're just like a bunch of guys hanging out at a bar watching wrestling.
Yep.
Yeah, and I actually act it because I have beer. It's great.
Yeah. Bring back flashbacks to the Purple Lantern, eh, Chris?
Yep, and Blue Liners.
Yep.
I remember all of us.
Blue Liners. They should rename it to Clothesliners. Yeah.
Well, it is closed now, so.
Although I just saw
a
truck commercial that was called Larry,
like that.
which I thought was funny.
Yeah, I can't remember it. It's
underneath.
Again, I work like 2 doors away from it, but.
But aren't you really 3 doors down?
That is just not the creed I live by.
No.
That was a bad dad joke, and I want my nickel back.
And Big Ben telling us that he has left us a subscribe.
Oh, so thank you, buddy.
Yes, I am seeing that on right now. We appreciate that. And also, Big Ben, just if you want to know, I see that you have subscribed on, if I'm not mistaken, it is the Turnbuckle Studios one. If by chance you want to see more content done, Turnbuckle Studios is live tomorrow with Turnbuckle Talk. But also, you can see down in the other corner our local establishment. They are partnered up with our local establishment. It's Karl Karufel, the gold standard of our local establishment, who's away for personal reasons today. You can also go and check out all the content at our local establishment as well. So we're on Twitch, YouTube. We have a Discord. We're on pretty much everything, Instagram and Threads.
We're just not on OnlyFans yet.
Ivor just beating the piss out of Riddle with those elbows.
Yeah, I just came back from commercial, so I just literally had the Uranagi.
Oh, just watch for them elbows. It looked like I may be wrong, but it just looked like he got him good. Just really good.
And Valhalla tonight reminding me.
Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper.
No.
Dr. Pepper.
This isn't a Dr. Pepper moment. With the way she was looking from the back view, reminded me of Maleficent.
Dr. Pepper.
Was reminding me of Maleficent, or going back. Well, Maleficent's even further back, but Rita from Power Rangers.
Oh yeah. I see what you mean.
Which one, the TV show or the movie?
The TV.
Okay.
From the original TV show.
So Bob's asking you, Parrish, what do you think? Is Wayne Gretzky overrated?
Yeah, the single fact that he has more assists than anybody in the league has points, totally overrated. If he was only on the Flames, you wouldn't be saying that. Because you guys think, who was that? Larry McDonald was good. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lanny McDonald.
Yeah. Sure, he wasn't that good. Although Jerome, he actually,
even though like
grew up right across the street from the house I live in right
now. Even Wayne Gretzky played here before mine and Chris Best's time.
Yep. And my grandpa reminds me of it all the time because he actually got to meet Gretzky.
Right. One of my old high school teachers. So, I mean, again, I'm going to date myself here. had Wayne Gretzky in one of her classes.
And then there's that iconic shot that, at least iconic for our city, but that shot of Wayne Gretzky eating at McDonald's.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you meant the shot where he just took the slapper at the blue line and it went over. But I think that was Eisenman actually. But Gretzky was in that photo or in that view, so,
yes, because that was his brief half season with St. Louis.
Yeah,
his cup of coffee there. Every time I think of Gretzky, I forget that he played there.
Right. So do I.
It's like, why, if they were to do the reverse retros one more time, I want them to do those slanted numbers again. Those are the one that people could like them or hate them as much as they want, but they look different and they made it stand out. So I like that aspect of it.
Yep.
This is also coming from somebody who has the reverse retro Ducks one where you have that cartoon duck and
right,
or the Lightning one that looks dumb, but
you know what? The Lightning one, because I think I've seen it hanging up, and I love that jersey. I like it better than their newer ones.
Well, it's because the Lightning were just better when they had black complementing the blue and white, and then with a little tin of silver too. That just was always a better logo. The logo where they beat the Calgary Flames in the Stanley Cup final.
Yep.
Bob, are you listening? Those were their better jerseys.
See, I will admit for that one, as much as I wasn't a fan of Calgary, I did cheer for them to beat Tampa. But when the Rangers played Vancouver for the Cup, I was cheering the Rangers.
Yeah, and see, I was cheering for Calgary that year because Tampa took out my Montreal Canadiens that year.
Well, I
did cheer.
Fan, follow my ABCs. Anybody but Calgary.
That's right. But I did cheer for Edmonton against Carolina the following year.
Yeah, that was a rough one. But going to Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final and actually visually seeing the cup was pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was I've been to the Hall of Fame. You see the replica that they have there. But when you see the real cup in person, it is cool.
It is. It is.
Easily the best trophy in any sport.
I've seen the Stanley Cup because it's been here numerous times.
Yeah. So Gretzky, Bob coming in and saying Wayne Gretzky is slightly overrated. He didn't really play with that good of people. I mean,
Messier, Tikkanen, Curry, Fuhrer.
I was just gonna say that,
coffee.
Dude.
Right.
And even you talk about the people he's played against, you got Brett Hull, Mario Lemieux,
then Luc Robitaille,
Yzerman.
The thing is, if you can play by his logic, not a lot of good players and put up the amount of points he did, and let's face it, the sell of Wayne Gretzky to the LA Kings really changed the game of hockey in the United States and made it a thing.
Yep.
So his name value grew the game of hockey more than any other player in any era.
I remember his retirement game with the Rangers and how many people, even my grandmother who doesn't watch hockey at all, watched that game.
Right? Imagine him playing now in his prime. Are you telling me that you would like to see Wayne Gretzky set up Alexander Ovechkin on the power play?
No, I want to see Leon Draisaitl will have the option of either passing it to Leon Draisaitl or Alexander Ovechkin and be like, so teams, who don't you want to cover right now?
Right.
I mean, let's face it, in the 93 finals.
And we already have the best power play ever in hockey.
I mean, let's face it, in the 93 Cup finals, LA got there basically because of three guys, Kelly Rudy, Luc Robitaille, and Gretzky himself.
Yep.
I'm gonna flat out say this. Kelly Rudy is the most overrated goalie that made it to a Stanley Cup final.
Yep.
He can go, and he is a Calgary homer too, which is absolutely disgraceful. Because I hate people that go on, and like I'll say the same thing. Oilers have a shitload of them too. Nobody is worse than your guys' fucking Leafs, though. Well, let's be honest.
Right. I agree.
But nothing is worse than hearing a homer on television when he's supposed to be impartial. It is the worst thing. Yes. Am I an Oilers fan? Absolutely. And I'll be the honest one. Bob, that goal was in. Jelena should have got a goal to win the cup that year. But guess what? Your coach was too stupid to call for the review.
I don't think they had the coach's challenge back then.
No, but they could have made a stink about it to the refs.
Right.
I mean, we all know that if he bitched enough to the refs, he would have gotten it. That's how Marty McSorley got his illegal stick. And
right.
By the way, I love
when
the
he
fact that
bashed Brashear there.
Yeah, they just showed this shirt.
Nice.
On WWEshop.com.
Yes,
nice.
Speaking of the show,
I've got
shorts.
I'm just going to commercial now with Rhea Ripley standing by the ring post.
Yeah, she's getting ready for her match with Indy Hartwell, and I want to see this match.
Yes.
Yeah. Guys, check out these shorts I just got from WWE.com.
Nice. But you know what? As I told Chris Best earlier, I was at Walmart and I found, believe it or not, a WWF New Generation action figure of Shawn Michaels when he first became the Heartbreak Kid.
Gotta buy it.
I didn't have $35.
I would have sent it to you.
They also had a Kevin Nash NWO World Heavyweight Champion.
So funny story enough, in order to buy this, I bought this as well as Kevin Owens' new t-shirt because that's just funny. I felt I needed to get something for the baby. So I got it an NWO toddler onesie.
Nice.
Yeah. It was just too sweet.
And, well, like I said last week, it's also for life.
Well, yeah. All right, that's enough putting our socials on the screen. I will take them off right now.
Okay. So I have added a Twitch.
Good old friends. If you want to throw that in the private chat, I could add it to your socials.
Bobby did last week on
Boar's Nest.
On Boar's Nest.
Okay, cool. But Bobby may have not put it in the right way. Let me check this. Him and buttons, I tell you.
Bob. He's really rousing you tonight, Parrish, but he's coming in and saying...
I don't hate it. I wanted to succeed. It's just giving me a hard time to enjoy a good chunk of it.
Yes.
But there are guys that I do like.
And Bobby's saying it may need updating. He was
stoned. If you can believe that. Bobby, I can't believe that you were stoned.
Yeah. You only have a show called, what, Second High? Or Second Held High or something?
Secondhand high.
Which you can see every Friday.
I can't remember. Yeah. And you'll see a Parrish run in sometimes on that show too.
Only when he does it Friday night, not Friday during the day.
Okay.
Oh,
it's there, Parrish.
That's an easy one. Okay. Let's see it on here. Okay, yeah, it's looking good, Bobby. Bobby's not always making mistakes when he's stoned. Sometimes he hits home runs.
Okay, so we
No,
have
no.
right now we have the New
Is
Day
there-
talking to Riddle and McIntyre backstage, and we have Rhea Ripley still in the ring.
Of course we
What
do.
What in the New Day hell is Xavier Woods trying to look like?
I have no idea. And why are they carrying chairs? That's what I want to know too.
Like, Xavier Woods looks like a Bush League Bob Marley.
I was just gonna say that, Parrish.
I beat you to it. I beat you to it.
Bobby hitting home runs with those PPW videos lately.
What about the AEW matches do you like better than WWE? Now I know why I got so like tired of New Day. They do the exact same thing.
Right?
I love that Dominic's shirt says Off-White on it for so many different reasons.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, is that just the greatest?
All right, so I'm finally about to go back to ringside.
Yeah.
I heard I'm going and I got ready to pull up the banner.
I swear now he makes sure he goes before. He's like the kid that's like finally listens to his parents going on the long like car ride. He goes before the ride starts.
Right.
But here's the thing, Parrish. Pre-broadcast, he said, "Be forewarned, there's going to be a lot tonight."
But why could I see Dom being the one riding with the Judgment Day asking, are we there yet?
We're talking about you, dude.
It's probably
Oh, okay.
Bobby. 1 hour 42 minutes, about 45 seconds. You can clip that.
1 hour 42. I'm keeping the times for him. So
Yeah, around the 142, 45 ish. A little bit before, but let's go around there. And I believe this is Indy Hartwell's first Raw singles match.
I believe so.
yeah, because I think she's had a couple of tag matches prior.
Yeah, maybe a battle royal, but this is
Yeah, she was in a
first
battle royal.
one-on-one.
Now we saw Rhea Ripley really elevate Lyra
Valkyria, yes.
Kyria, yeah.
The whole reason why they couldn't give Taya Valkyrie her name on NXT.
Yeah, and it was like, I want to say Valkyrie, but it was just not. There's something about Dom just holding the women's championship that it looks normal, and I don't know why.
Right.
Bobby's saying Chris Best is on it. He's got the best man for the job.
And then Bob's asking, Parrish, is that a username or is it actually your name? Just wondering.
Yeah. If you ever buy the PWI 500 from the years that I was on it, you can see it in there.
And I know you can order
I have
those
a Facebook
issues
account.
on back order.
Yeah, I have a Facebook account. I have social media accounts.
And Ed Fries is coming in here actually as well. The Street Profits think the Street Profits thinking they're Shelton and Cedric had me dying.
Yeah,
Well,
that
they do have
was
more
good.
tag title runs. They do have more tag title
They do
runs
actually.
than those two. Not
Yep.
Shelton in his career, but Cedric and Shelton as a tag.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, I'm actually kind of liking this whole pairing between the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley.
Oh, yeah.
It looks a lot better than I thought it would.
And just wait, and I'm sure Carmelo Hayes will be added to it. But
Well,
Yeah.
that would be he'd be a
You just gotta
perfect
wait.
fit for them.
they had a moment talking when they had Raw or SmackDown in Orlando.
Yeah.
They had Trick Mello talking to Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
So I think it's only in due time where Carmelo Hayes loses that NXT championship.
Yep.
In my opinion, preferably to Ilya Dragunov, and then gets called up and he joins Bobby Lashley's group.
Yeah. Well,
He's
it's
the
going to be
perfect
interesting
mid-card
'cause
singles guy.
as at the next. Well, it won't be an NXT PLE, but it'll be like their next big show, Heat Wave. We're getting Trick versus Ilya,
Yeah, I know.
which is still going to be a fantastic match in and of itself.
So I've got to assume right now we are getting a feud between Indy and Rhea right now for the women's title.
It's
And
Candice,
Candice as well.
and it's Candice and Rhea right now. Which I don't mind. It's a great thing and a great opportunity for Candice. It's kind of almost about time that she does something of status on the roster.
Right.
So it's fresh for the two of them as well.
It is, and it's also fresh for everyone else because you haven't seen Candice LeRae get in a lot of feuds on the Raw brand, but at the same time, it would be nice to see her get a good showing. I think we all know Rhea Ripley is not going to lose that title anytime soon, and now that the women's Money in the Bank has been cashed in, I'm sure that's going to be saved for maybe a Raquel Rodriguez at WrestleMania.
Yeah. And right now we're getting a video package for what Shinsuke did last week.
Yep.
Yeah. One of the better heel turns I've seen in recent times.
Better than when Shinsuke did the dick kick to AJ Styles when he turned heel there.
Yep.
Well,
okay.
He didn't kick him in the dick. He low blowed AJ at WrestleMania with his hand.
Yeah.
Nakamura coming out in a suit, and I kind of like this.
No, it was AJ who low blowed, or no, it was Daniel Bryan who kicked AJ in the nuts to get the title.
Yeah. Poor AJ
Shinsuke.
always getting the nut shots.
Yeah. So is it Shinsuke Nakamura? No, there's
I caught
some
that
pun for you. Some word player for you. Which is actually funny because that is almost the exact same type of suit that Seth was wearing when he first turned heel.
Yep.
And he would wear that dark black gear, but if he was wear a suit, he's wearing a suit very much like Shinsuke.
But is Shinsuke a visionary?
Well, I mean, who's to say?
I mean, Ed Fry's coming in here, Nakamura in a suit, obviously a heel. That's clear.
I mean, Cody's always in a suit. He is a babyface. He's also a really nice suit.
I still think of Nakamura as a tweener because the fans were still singing his song when he came to the ring.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Fandango's song was being sung by the crowd and make him.
Yes,
I mean,
but now Fandango hates pro wrestling.
Well,
so
you mean Fandango?
Well, no,
actually,
sorry, he's Dirty Dango.
Yeah, he's just Dirty Dango.
But I am going to go to the locker room here, so just give me one moment.
One
One
locker room visit from OMD.
I feel like the Oni Lorcan right now.
Which, by the way, you can find that shirt on, I believe it's Karl's Redbubble, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Still learning. I'm still learning some of these things here.
There it is.
Oh, look at that. Just go to that link there, karlredbubble.com, karlkarufel.redbubble.com, and you will find Booyaka. OMD's locker room visit, plus many other merchandise options, many different. We got the new Raw watch along shirts. Did you happen to see those, Parrish, at all?
Oh yeah.
I got to get one.
No. Except in like at home. Then it's always last minute. But usually I'm looking.
No, I know Karl sent me the design of the shirt design before they actually went out, and I'm like, yeah, dude, that's fucking awesome, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect much different from on the design. I mean, obviously. But yeah, go check it out on the Redbubble.
All right.
OMD, that might have been the fastest locker room visit I've ever seen from you.
Well, he just had to dump that colostomy bag that he swears he doesn't have.
That's right. That's right. No, I'm honestly surprised it's only been one because I have not been feeling good the last couple of days, and
well, that sounds
right
like
before
we're
we
waiting
came,
for number 2.
I did that one right before the show, but
oh, that just worked out so well.
And as per usual, because Skittles, my cat, knows that we're doing the show, he's sitting in his usual spot again, watching wrestling.
nice. Right in front of the TV?
Oh, yeah, as usual.
Michael Cole's in the ring, introducing Shinsuke Nakamura.
Interesting.
So, people in the chat, what do you think of Raw so far? What's been something that stood out to you so far? What's something that you wish would happen instead?
Well, for me, I think the match that stood out for me tonight was Otis and Gunther. I really liked that match. And Vinci and Chad Gable moments before that was actually pretty good too.
Right.
And on that note, gentlemen, I'll be right back. My bird is going a little bit too insane for me.
All right.
I'm sure you're a little behind still, but we are getting an interruption to Shinsuke Nakamura.
Okay.
Right
Yeah.
now. as I think that's probably the most obvious thing.
Right.
As Seth freaking Rollins looking like he's about to get wed.
Okay.
Oh, so
Yeah.
OMD, I just want to say, a little bit on
That is. Yep, that's a wedding gown outfit for Seth Rollins.
Yep. Definitely looking like he may have raided Becky Lynch's lingerie, as it were.
But here's the thing, I don't think he did.
Right? I think that's his. I was going to say, what? Like, wouldn't he want to just take that lingerie off of Becky anyways?
I mean,
Maybe
that's a
that's how
lot
he
of
got it.
see-through, and somehow I don't think Becky's wearing that on Raw anytime soon.
No.
Oh, you're dressed to the nines, all right, Seth.
OMD,
Yes.
please look at the private chat.
It might be mine. I had it up a little bit so I can hear the promo too.
Yeah.
Nope. Not yours.
Can you still hear mine?
Chris. Yeah, but not as much. Actually, yeah, a little bit. If we're really quiet, it is. But
Yeah.
if we talk, you won't be able to hear it. So
Right.
I would when we're quiet, maybe just execute the mute button a tad more. Trick of the trade, I can say. But we got Bobby coming in saying most WWE praises their stars with sins. I really like the Gunther versus insert opponent name here match.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's because
It's Gunther.
Gunther doesn't really have bad matches. And then Parrish, what is your favorite year of wrestling? Ooh, my lord.
There's a lot to choose from in that one.
Right.
It's hard because like my favorite ever was Shawn Michaels. He won the title in '96 at WrestleMania. So even though he's maybe had one of the worst business title runs at that point, he was my guy, so I didn't care. But I mean, you got to look at probably maybe when WrestleMania 17 happened. So that would have been 2001. I think 2001 is a very underrated year for pro wrestling.
I tend to agree with you on that one, Parrish.
The way Bobby comes
Bobby
in,
was
these stars
correcting
equal
himself.
these days.
I tend to agree with you on that one, Parrish, because yes, the invasion angle in 2001 kind of sucked, but I feel like with that invasion angle, they were actually trying to build up the jobbers that they had basically from WCW.
I mean, I liked a lot of what it was before the invasion. Like when you were thinking, when you saw that Vince bought WCW, that was a big deal. A very big deal. So the what could have been or what can happen, and when you really look at the fantasy style, that's going to be, I think, one of the top, because I mean, a lot of the fans didn't know at the time about the AOL Time Warner deals and how some guys couldn't come because they didn't have to work. So you were hoping you were going to see Taker versus Sting back then. You were hoping you were going to see, the Goldberg versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at that time.
That's what I was going to get to, because I remember around the invasion angle, OMD and I were formulating all our dream matches that we wanted to see because of that purchase.
Right. And I mean, we had the obvious Goldberg versus Austin, Sting versus Taker. But here was a fantasy booking match that I put forward, which was Shawn Michaels versus DDP.
I wasn't as big of a fan of DDP as I was Shawn Michaels.
Neither was I, but back then DDP absolutely grew on me, and I thought for a long time he would have been pushed higher in WWE than he was in WCW until he got pushed to that next level.
Now, see, we got the dream match I wanted, which was Booker T and The Rock.
Well, that was not a dream match of mine.
Now, one of the matches I still wanted to see, I wanted to see Dean Malenko and Jamie Noble, like for the cruiserweight title. Like those are some of the ones I wanted to see too. But for Shawn Michaels, like I always thought, like one of his best fantasy ones was him and AJ. Like that would have been a great match.
Absolutely.
So like I wanted to see more of the athletic guy go, because to me it was either like Shawn really worked greater with either guys bigger than him. Like I still think to this day, Undertaker's best matches were Shawn Michaels.
One guy I wanted to succeed coming out of the invasion that didn't really succeed was Sean O'Hare. I really wanted him to succeed.
Yeah. Sean O'Hare, Chuck Palumbo, Mark Jindrak, all of them flopped.
Right now we've got Trish coming out for her match with Becky.
Funny that she's still wearing the mask, even though that was kind of taken off the last time they were in the ring with each other, or like whether in that segment. So it's weird that she's still kind of rocking it. Seems a little overkill at this point.
She should be all healed up right now, shouldn't she?
You would think so, but
so she's probably doing the whole Bob Orton thing with the nose.
Who knows, Chris? Who knows?
The nose.
Bob's asking, what's your favorite theme song?
Oh, this is a tough one.
I am going to go with the original Shawn Michaels theme when he first came out and re-debuted with Sensational Sherry.
So Sensational Sherry's version of it.
Yes.
That was actually a really cool theme. I liked it too.
But I
Well,
also
one thing-
like. I also got to say, Everybody's Got a Price was a great one.
One theme song I still find myself headbanging to, Demolition's theme song. Parrish, you look like you're really deep in thought on this one.
Well, I mean, it depends on like what I think is the question going. What I think was the best theme song for the wrestler, or is it like what's my favorite theme song just to listen to like outside of wrestling? Because it's like I don't know, like it all depends. Like to me, I think when it's like the complete all around one. I mean, Ed's coming in with Batista. That's really
I
not
want
Getting a
bad
little
banger.
saliva in there.
But I mean, yeah, it's weird. Like I always thought Goldust's first original one was just such a beautiful instrumental.
Yeah.
And I like you listen to it. There, like if you played that in front of people, people are going to be jaw dropped about like how great it is.
Yeah.
Even if you just don't tell them that's a theme song. But
Yes.
I don't know. Also, like Macho Man's is pretty iconic.
Yeah.
But if I'm going, like, also too, like
Honky
Stone
Tonk Man
Cold,
too.
like the glass
Honky's was
breaking
very
is
iconic as well.
Bob's dream
Yeah.
match is Hornswoggle against Andre.
Okay, now you're just trolling us on that one.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh,
And asking,
Careful.
what about Batista with the saliva? Here's a question.
Yeah,
Who else did Saliva do theme music for?
Jericho, King of My World. Boom.
Yes.
The Dudley Boys too.
Don't at me.
No, Dudley Boys was Drowning Pool.
Nope, they were saliva.
No, they did have they had a saliva.
No, it was Power Man 5000.
It was
But they
also
had a
saliva.
They also had a saliva.
Really?
WrestleMania
Yep.
18, man. They played them to the ring. You were there.
No, that was Jericho they played to the ring.
No, that was Survivor
No.
Series 2002.
Yeah, that was the first Elimination Chamber match in New York.
Yeah.
All right.
RMD, man, your memories are Your memory is slipping.
I couldn't remember because I was sitting there because I knew it was King of My World, but I'm almost positive that
It was Get the
Saliva.
Table by Saliva. Because I remember very vividly seeing Bubba walk up to the drum and just headbang to the fucking drummer.
Well, that song wasn't out yet by WrestleMania 17. That's
Yeah,
That's
now,
when tearing away.
Here, liking Vince
Tear Away,
McMahon.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tearing away was a
Yes,
song-
Drowning Pool played Tear Away at WrestleMania X8.
And Saliva did Superstar. And so Drowning Pool also played Triple H to the ring with their version of the game.
Yes.
which I think is an underrated version of Triple H's.
Yes.
Yeah. Bob liking Vince McMahon's theme song. Now, I'm going to say the same thing, but
Speaking
I like
of overrated, we're getting the Winnipeg Jets on our TV right now. Sorry, I had to.
Well, now they're
No.
a far cry from who they were.
Yeah.
And
was
until
gonna
they
say-
can
I like Vince McMahon's theme song. However, I like Dope's cover of Vince McMahon of No Chance in Hell, the one that was on Forcible Entry. And I think Vince only used that theme like once to promote the album.
right.
I mean, Lil Kim's version of Stephanie is pretty good too.
I'm really surprised that they are doing this match now. I was expecting this match to be the main event tonight because it's
Well, dude, it's going to be Cody
Canada.
and Cody
I know.
main eventing.
I know, which is disappointing
love
because
that.
I wanted
I love
With
how
this
Becky has a
match-
giant lemon on her shirt.
with this being to end this rivalry, I was waiting and hoping that this was going to be the main event.
Becky's going to get those lemons over, man.
Yeah, but one wrestler once said, "Don't be a lemon, be a rosebud."
That's right. Leo Kruger.
Man, he's super jacked these days.
Yep.
Like he just blew up after he left WWE.
And retired from wrestling.
Yeah.
For now. Also, Alex Riley had a pretty banger theme too.
Yes.
Like,
He did too, eh?
yeah, the state like another downstate's not like downstate. Like, how can they not be playing a Mania right now when they do like everyone's theme? They've done a Seth theme, Cody's theme, they've done Miz's theme, they do Ziggler's theme, they did Alex Riley's theme, they've done Zack Ryder's theme, now Matt Cardona's theme, Chelsea Green's theme. They've done the independent one, but and the Impact one, I think, too.
I was gonna say they need to play Cody to the ring with their theme, but they've done that in AEW, so
Mm-hmm. Wait for it when he wins the title at WrestleMania 40. Yeah, calling it now. Also, I'm going to say this. WWE should get a replica Liberty Bell made, so that's the bell they ring for the matches at WrestleMania 40.
Right.
Yeah. Think about that. That would be awesome. Now I'm getting tired of people doing that. When they throw a chop, it's getting overdone, and I just don't. It really doesn't add anything.
I kind of agree, but it's Trish's thing at the same time, you know?
I've seen so many people use it. It's just so redundant. But Bob, do you think Jay is actually leaving WWE? No, it's
No.
a storyline, buddy. And what do you think is going to happen with all of that? We're gonna probably see some surprises. I honestly think we might see some different people joining the bloodline angle. That is my prediction.
But I did bring up the scenario earlier that what if Jay actually did leave the WWE and pulled or told the WWE to let him go, and he pulled a Brian Pillman and showed up in AEW or something like that?
Man, so like as a story, like I know you guys know, like coming back from San Antonio, obviously go to the airport. I get somebody's like, "Oh man, like are you here for the Rumble?" Yeah. The Usos are at that bar. So I was like, okay, cool. They're playing the football playoffs. I wanted to watch them.
Yeah.
And of course, it's the 49ers. And guess who are 49er fans? The Usos, if I really know. So I end up sitting beside, ironically enough, Jey Uso. To the point where Jay actually helped me get the bartender because he was really slow on getting me my drink.
Yeah.
So it was like to the point where he's like, "Why don't you just yell at him?" I'm like, I don't really like to yell at people. It's not really my thing. He's like, "Where are you from?" My Canada. He's like, "Okay, that makes sense." And it's so hard because like I wanted to get a photo, but like this little kid like took a photo or like kind of just like flicked him in the back and asked for a photo. It's kind of like a dick thing to do, to be quite honest. But they took the photo. They're really nice to everyone. But he just like turns back and he just goes to his brother. He's like, if anybody asks me for another effing photo, I swear to God, I'm gonna super kick him. And I thought that was funny. But at the same time, I'm just like, yeah, I'll just put this down. But it was pretty funny. They were putting the drinks down, they were getting a lot paid for them, so they're like, why not?
Yeah.
But oh, look at Trish taking off the mask and showing nothing's wrong.
Yeah, and she just tried to use it as a weapon.
Big Joe, Corporate Joe, asking, "Hey, Parrish, how are things? How are you doing, brother?"
I'm doing great. I will be doing even better in about 66 or so days. How are you?
Yep.
Oops.
Just answer that question, Chris. Just once I want to do a show with people that can press buttons right. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, we press buttons on this show?
I swear I'm not turning into the next Bobby.
Hell! Unlike the Elks on last Thursday, you're not off to a good start. Just kidding.
Oh man, they got destroyed in that first half.
Are the Elks
they're
going to
up
win a game
22-0.
this season?
I hope not. I really want to see Connor McDavid win a Commonwealth before the Edmonton Elks do. That would be the greatest thing I've ever seen. We're 2 months away from it. Like, it could happen.
Yes,
Joe
yes,
Commencing
Big
and
Joe, it
missing
absolutely
for the last
has, brother.
Too long, man. Feel free to jump in if you want. Although I'm pretty sure Joe might be at work right now or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But it is 10 o'clock, so I'm not sure. He might be on his way home from work.
Chris, just check the private chat for a sec.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Whoops. I keep clicking.
Don't worry about it. Just but yeah, Joe, one of these days we're gonna have to do the Among Us once in a while. That was fun times. I do miss doing that. Oh, I totally forgot she was in Twisted Metal. The girl from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Also, I just watched the Cody documentary.
Okay.
How was it?
Well,
I
thank
still
you,
can't
Ed.
find it
Ed-
on the network.
So Ed actually recorded it and has it in one of the rooms here. So if you go into the StreamYard and go to past, he will have it there and you would be able to watch it, download it if you'd like. But yeah, it's good. It's really good. The only two things there's actually three things I wish they would cover more. I wish they would
Let's make the
talk
perfect.
more. Okay, somebody's volume went up.
That was my phone.
Yeah. But I wish they talked a little bit more in depth about his AEW and his behind the scenes. That would have been cool to hear. He didn't, not so much going in detail about like what he did, but like, just some of that interaction would have been cool. I'm understanding that it's a WWE documentary.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure contractual obligations prevented that.
They did have BTE with the Young Bucks in there, though, so I think there was probably a way. Also, I would have wished that they talked more about how him and Brandy got together and stuff like that. It's always interesting to hear about that personal stuff.
Yeah.
A little bit more. But I really also wish there was a little bit more of the backstage stuff in regards to not only his return to WWE, but the Roman Reigns match at WrestleMania.
Well, that will be in part 2, which will come out next year after WrestleMania.
Oh no, they did. They talked about the Roman Reigns thing. it almost ended after the Roman Reigns stuff.
Yeah.
So,
If there is one modern wrestler, though, that I wouldn't mind putting out a book, it would be Cody.
I'm actually like, I really want Trish to put out a book. That I think that one would be really cool, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Not only does she have the like modeling stuff that she had that got her into WWF at the time, but
Yep. The modeling,
think
the
she-
yoga.
but she
It
was
was also
really
her
somebody
coach.
that she was somebody that
also-
was honestly like hired because she looked good, but then learned
Yeah.
how to work, and she became, I thought, one of the best to do it. I still think she is in completion the best Canadian women's pro wrestler
Okay.
of all time.
And a lot of people forget this too, but before she came to the WWE, she already had a wealth of knowledge of wrestling under her belt because of the fact that she used to be a co-host of live audio wrestling.
Yeah,
Yes.
but that doesn't always translate to in the ring, though. Like,
No,
No.
it
you got
doesn't.
it.
But I mean,
So-
like, she had an understanding of how the business ran to a certain extent at that time, you know?
Yeah.
Well, she had an understanding of the lingo. She had an understanding of like what it was, but really the in-depth stuff was. I mean, there's always a
Yeah.
lot more.
This is a fantastic
could-
match they're putting on, by the way.
Yeah, if AJ Styles, who did everything outside of WWE, goes to WWE and just gets blown away with how much he felt, I didn't even know that. It doesn't matter what you do outside. You go to WWE, you're going to learn a lot if
Yeah.
you're open-minded.
Yeah.
It's just a completely different thing because it's not even fair to compare WWE and AEW because WWE just does it on a larger scale. They've done it for a lot longer, and they do it really just in a more intense way at times.
Absolutely.
So like it's not anybody's like it's not AEW's fault. It's not a bash at that. It's just what it is.
Yeah. No, it's
As Trish and Becky are on the outside right now, and it looks like
A double count
The
out.
rest-
So I think this feud
yeah.
continues.
yeah, and I would assume that maybe Payback we might actually see a match between these two. Let's settle it once and for all.
yeah. Well, because I'd heard the bell and now I just got it.
She just. Okay, Becky just beat her over the head with a red solo cup.
Well, the kid in a suit with the Cody sign was cute. Why are there 3 referees like 40 feet away on the stairs doing like what in the blue fuck do you think is gonna happen by doing that, buddy? Get up there and do something.
And I'm going to guess at Payback it's going to be a Falls Count Anywhere match, if that's what they go with.
Or maybe a cage to keep them in the ring.
I would do Hell in a Cell. I would actually bring Hell in a Cell.
You think this rivalry is enough to warrant a Hell in a Cell?
It's been getting to that point.
I mean, you want to keep Zoe Stark out, and it's actually surprising that we're not seeing Zoe Stark so far.
Now that you said that, she's going to show up at some point here.
Yep.
Almost, most likely. Oh, is that what a Seth Rollins shirt she just pulled out?
I think so.
Yes.
There
it
she is.
Yep. Oh, that was the greatest, like, high five. No. So my thing is, who is going to be the one that helps Becky Lynch?
So this could even lead to like a tag team cage or tag team Hell in a Cell, where Becky finds herself a partner.
No, I don't want it to be a tag team. It's got to be the one-on-one. And if you're going to do it to keep somebody out, bring back the person that this all started with and put Lita out there.
Yeah.
And Trish being cheered in Winnipeg.
So OMD, just if you want to just check the private chat for a second. This will kind of explain a few things for you, just so you're aware.
Okay. That didn't really tell me anything, but
Just read the last one.
oh, okay, that one wasn't there. So
Yeah, I just wrote that one. I also have a few. But so what do you guys actually? What do you guys think about what we saw with Trish? And
I'm so glad that we actually got like a different style of backstage brawling, because it wasn't necessarily backstage.
right. But I mean, again, it's this
I can't
feud
help
has
but-
been dragged on. I think they should have ended it. They should have done it 2 weeks ago at SummerSlam and ended it.
I feel like they had a few more dates out of Trish, and that's why they delayed the match, though.
I
They might
actually
have.
I don't even think the dates thing is much of a concern as people think. I think it's one where even if she's like, okay, hypothetically, I want to work to this. If they have something going that they're invested in, they will extend it in real time just to say, okay, well, I'll do it just to finish this. So we've seen it a lot. In fact, just a few years back, we saw both Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole both extend their contracts Adam Cole extend his contract just to get through the Kyle O'Reilly feud. And
Yeah.
so things can always be worked out. There's always something.
Yeah.
I mean, to use an example too, in '95, when before Lex left for WCW, he was working on a pay-per appearance deal as he was trying to hash out a deal with WWE that never went through.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, Ron Hutchinson, the trainer of Edge,
Yes.
reportedly said that the match on SmackDown this Friday with Sheamus will be his last. Now, I have not seen nor read anything from Ron Hutchinson stating this. I do not dispute the rumor,
No.
but
We heard from a year ago in Toronto that Edge wanted to come retire in Toronto. I've read the same things in different groups to sit and say that yes, this match will likely be Edge's final and he'll be retiring.
See, I'm taking this supposed Edge retirement with a grain of salt these days.
Right.
As you really should with anybody who's in wrestling who announces their retirement. Take it with a grain of salt.
So if anybody actually thought like, well, why did they didn't have the Becky and Trish main event? If they didn't plan on closing the feud, it's a really good reason why it's not the main event. I do think they will get their just due at that point.
Payback?
When they do want to close this. Who knows? We will find out. It's just one thing we gotta do this more of, and I don't mean like us. I mean just in general. Sometimes let's see how the story plays out, and let's not always jump to conclusion, because that is the beauty of wrestling, is getting emotionally involved in the story.
Yeah.
And Gunther is not exactly happy with
Kaiser there.
Kaiser. But curious to see what the plan is for Imperium moving forward. Maybe, just maybe, there are plans to maybe turn Gunther to a babyface.
Wow. Next week, and Gunther saying he's doing it alone.
Mm-hmm.
The Intercontinental title match, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Should have been at the pay-per-view. That's my thought on that.
You know, that's the thing. So, like, one thing I was reading about SummerSlam is one of the reasons why they pulled Trish and Becky was, had they had that show, it was the match they were going to cut in time, and they didn't feel that was right to them.
Right.
So,
but I mean, they've also stated that match was never actually planned for SummerSlam. It was never cut.
That I think was something they just wanted to say, just to kind of ease the tension and the heat. I do believe that WWE, when they look into a year, they have WrestleMania.
They just announced. They just announced Becky and Trish for the Inside a Cage.
But, Chris, so you were absolutely right.
Told you. But I didn't catch when that's going to happen.
They didn't say when. They just said the next time we do it.
That's probably going to be the pay-per-view then.
And the gear Cody is wearing, oh my Lord, is it beautiful. The jacket and everything. So clean.
So white and clean.
Oh my God, it just looks beautiful.
Ed Fry's is coming in here, though, saying Tiffany will not be happy that Ludwig is caught up with Maxine.
Tiffany who? Oh, Tiffany Stratton?
Stratton.
Yeah, that's...
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that special?
Parrish, earlier, Kaiser tried putting the moves on Maxine in a promo.
Oh, I know. He did the same thing last week.
Which I told you earlier.
Now, the flags that we're seeing as just images, they're not real. I would not mind seeing something like that actually be real at a big PLE.
I wouldn't mind seeing those flags being sold on WWE.com.
One of the coolest things I saw when I went to a WrestleMania 22 was they had banners of every superstar going around the arena, and it was really cool. Especially when he got there, it was like just they were a lot larger in person than what they looked like on TV, but it was just cool.
Yep.
No. But yeah, no, as I was saying, sometimes WWE does have, when they book their year, they'll book WrestleMania to SummerSlam and then SummerSlam to WrestleMania. And if by chance there's no insane like injuries that prevent things, which obviously we saw with Sonya Deville and the women's tag titles, which at the time of them not being on the card, we did not know why. But then when we found out later, that was why there's no women's tag team title match. Both Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have been working with injuries. That means, good chance those tag titles aren't being on SummerSlam either. But if Triple H made the decision of like, look, I don't want to cut time, and if that was the match they had to cut time, I can understand why. Does the situation still suck? Absolutely. And I'm not saying that was the right move or whatever, but at the same time, if they want to give these girls the proper amount of time to do this thing, then sure. It's why I said maybe WWE needs to look at making SummerSlam just like Mania and make it a 2-day thing. That way you make SummerSlam larger by a visual and by just by a spectacle type thing, but at the same time, you're giving more feuds and you're giving more people the opportunity to get their just kind of to get to work and kind of get to perform. I do think it's something to look at. I also think giving the women another all-female PLE at some point should be a thing. I think that would be great, and I think
you could say the same thing for the Royal Rumble. For being the Royal Rumble could be a 2-night thing too, because sometimes after the first Rumble, I'm spent by the time the second Rumble comes up.
Right.
Yeah.
What I would like.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say what I'd like to see for the Rumble is a WCW World War III style. And hit the 3 rings.
Thing is, see, I wouldn't hate that for like the SummerSlam when they did the War Games. And then do something like that if they don't do War Games. What I love about the Royal Rumble is the fact that it's very, very simple still, in the sense of you got the 2 Rumbles, you may get 2 title matches, and then usually 2 other like big feuds. And that's pretty much it. It's still a card. It's not an overbooked card, and you're still booking close to 70 wrestlers. Really?
Yep.
Yeah. So everybody still gets their chance to shine.
Yeah. So there's still an opportunity there. Like you can go back, and you're gonna get some surprises. You're gonna get some like, okay, cool. There's some NXT development in the Rumble here, as we saw Zoe Stark, who was in NXT at the time. She was in the Royal Rumble.
Right.
And Indy Hartwell.
Shayna Baszler when she was in NXT.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just meaning like this year's. But I don't know. Like there's something about the Royal Rumble that I think they have gotten it. And I think right now it's good the way it is. Just don't have back-to-back Rumbles. That's where
No.
you're gonna really kill the audience.
Yeah, it was this year that they bookended the Rumbles. They started off with one and ended with the other, right?
They've been doing that for a couple of years now.
No, they actually ended with Kevin Owens against
Roman
Reigns.
Yeah.
They had the women's one right before that, and they started the show with the men's.
Which I was fine with that, actually.
Yep.
I didn't think I would be, but I was.
It's like any other show. It's like a show where you see of how they tell us to do a show every Wednesday on Wrestle Draft on the WWE. My GM mode, you gotta have your flow. You gotta have that hot opener, and then you gotta bring it down, only to bring it back up, bring it back down, bring it back up. And I thought they did that. The two biggest pops that night, and I can tell you just from being in the crowd, Cody winning it, and then Sami Zayn hitting Roman with that chair. Nothing else on that card even came close to a pop.
Yeah, I can tell you that sitting on the couch,
win was pretty close to being in the top 5, but again, there were other ones that were definitely ahead. And this is coming from a guy, out of all the people in the Royal Rumble, I marked out the most for seeing Piper Niven back. And I just don't mean like what we saw in the Doudrop. I marked out for seeing Piper Niven back.
Yes, not Doudrop, Piper Niven.
Okay, I really like the start of that match. The collar and elbow tie up into the buckle. Feels like a spot we rarely ever get.
Way to spoil it for me, Chris.
It's just a collar and elbow.
The one thing you're going to see, I think, with Cody is that you're still going to get that old school traditional wrestling, right? You're going to see some modern day stuff and whatnot, but at the same time, you're going to see a lot more of the older style. And I like that because you mix that in with the new style, all of a sudden, like you got something different. Cody's gear just looks like if Megatron was like all about the red, white, and blue, that's his gear right now.
Right.
But the silver just looks so nice with it, like complementing it.
It does, yeah. Especially the silver Decepticon symbol.
Well, just like the outlines on the lines and everything.
I don't really need to see Megatron's face on Cody's ass, though, as much as I'm seeing it.
No, that's Codytron right there.
By the way, Parrish, if you've not yet seen the new Transformers movie, I will recommend it.
I actually have seen it. It's on, I think it's on Paramount Plus now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen it. It's not awful.
No, it's not. I'll recommend it over the two with Mark Wahlberg.
That to me, I think, is the problem with the series. There's some lulls on it, and it had nothing to do with Mark Wahlberg. It's just one of those things where the stories were just terrible.
Yeah.
And like I even found the first 3. Like the first one was awesome. The second one was too comical for me. The third one was too.
Is Michael Bay still tied to them?
Yep.
I do. Yeah. Well, he knows. That's his baby though now, right?
Just once, I want to see him do a movie that doesn't have explosions in it, though. Just once.
Well, he did 24.
I forgot he did that, actually.
Not all episodes. I think he did a couple.
Yeah. Right. See, I enjoyed the first 3 Transformers movies. Then the 2 with Mark Wahlberg, they were way too long and drawn out. This one was probably still a little bit long and drawn out, but told a better story. And then what I believe, then the crossover that I believe it's going to lead to.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to like just go see the movie. Like, we're not like, if you haven't seen it by now, that's not on us. It's
Right.
So if you say like people can be like spoilers. It's like, okay, it's been out for like how long now?
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it by now, there was probably not a chance you were like, I gotta go still see it.
Right.
It's probably not all their things to do, but no, the single fact that there's that G.I. Joe reference, and for the first time ever, you're going to see that crossover, I think was really cool. As someone who didn't pay attention, like I knew of G.I. Joe, I knew of Transformers, I didn't know they were connected. I wasn't much of a comic book guy growing up because I was much more of a wrestling guy. I watched the era that nobody wants to remember in WWF with hashtag Aldo Montoya, with Mad Mountain Rock, with Mantar, with Barry Horowitz getting a win.
Right.
Yeah. And see, I'm with you on that one.
Techno Team 2000 people.
Techno Eric Watts has claimed
with
fame.
Jacob and Eli Blue.
Right.
With Bertha Faye.
She had an awesome theme too, actually, Bertha Faye did.
Yeah.
She did. Harvey Whippleman was actually pretty solid.
That whole love angle with Harvey Whippleman, though, was fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
I miss Harvey.
But see, I also look fondly back at that era too, Parrish, because WWE came to our town during that time, and I'm happy that they did.
You had Farouk and whatever the fuck his blue soldier gimmick was.
He was like, when he was trying to be like a gladiator or some kind of fucking thing.
Yeah,
Sonny is his manager, if you remember that.
It was like if the movie Gladiator became like for kids and they went Nickelodeon. That's what it kind of felt like.
Yeah.
But.
And let's not forget, at that time, WCW wasn't faring too well either with their cast of characters as well.
No, it was honestly just a lull in the wrestling time. You're gonna get that, and then like soon, like what comes after that? One of the biggest spikes of all time. Like that was the Attitude Era, and people were like, nothing is bad about it. Trust me, there's a lot of bullshit in that era, but at the same time, there was some of the better moments of it too, and that's where wrestling became good with the NWO. And you got a lot of like the ooh-ahs kind of a thing. That was a cool thing. That was the Bullet Club of that time.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to say NWO still can bend the Bullet Club backwards and show it to 50 states. It is that much better of a faction. Always has been, always will be. People need to just...
I've often said that the Bullet Club is just the NWO clone.
Well, I mean, they do the Too Sweet, so
and that's just it. Like I think that's something about the Bullet Club that I wish like I get it. Like I get why you
for life.
I get it why you want to reference things of the past because it's an honor. It's a you're showing your respects, but at the same time, wrestling's all about stealing something and making it your own.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So. As we saw just recently,
I was going to say, granted, the Bullet Club did get their blessings from the NWO to do the Too Sweet, though.
Well, I mean, they got it from the Clique, who actually invented it, not the NWO. But no, I mean, we just saw recently with Ricochet asking Booker T for permission to use the axe kick, and Booker T said, "Yeah, just make it your own," and hit a home run doing it. And that's going to be like the thing. It is completely fine to steal things. It's just at the same time, there's a right way to go about it, and there's something you have to do with it.
Right.
Now, it's what I wish even Kevin Owens did with the stun. He just does the kick stunner. But at the same time, I wish he did something a little bit different with it. Even Randy Orton did something different with the diamond cutter, and that's a pretty simple move to do. But he made it work.
I was going to say the thing different Randy Orton did with it was he hit it out of nowhere, but DDP also hit it out of nowhere too. So
yeah, but DDP also grabbed the guy and then went down. Right? He did the move a little slower and made it a bigger thing, whereas Randy Orton makes a bigger thing by the mystique of a move. He took something and understood how to slow it down to make it bigger. And that's just the thing. Now, Johnny Ace, on the other hand, didn't do anything to make that move cool because he's just not cool.
anyways.
Right.
So, I mean, but that's really what it was. Like, it, right? And look at how many people do the super kick now. I mean, we talked about the bullet club. So you have the you have
overdone.
The super kick now is such an overdone move. I'm sick of it.
But here's the thing though too. Back when Shawn Michaels did it, it wasn't being done a lot anyway. It wasn't a move you saw. A lot of the times it was just a savate kick done by a Samoan. It wasn't really anything until Shawn Michaels made it more of a prominent move. And that's why he's still going to he still does the better super kick because of how big he made it. Now, was it the nicest super kick? Maybe, maybe not. That's really debatable.
Right.
But he made it mean more. Oh, that's a nice reversal by Finn. There's a lot of flow in this match, and I really can get behind it.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing with Shawn Michaels with using the super kick. He always did it different ways each match. Like he would either build it up or catch you out of nowhere with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes. When he was champion in 95, I believe it was. No, 96. That run in later 96. That build up to 95, though, it was a setup and done. They were very simple with how they did it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he'd go to the corner and do that stomp, and then he'd get the crowd psyched for it.
Yeah,
he learned to evolve the move as he went on. And he understood, hey, if a guy springboard off the ropes, I can super kick there.
Yeah.
Or if, hey, I just ducked this clothesline, I'm going to catch him with a super kick.
We were bantering, but the match between Cody Rhodes and Finn Balor, right?
Yeah, this is still a fantastic match, fantastic main event.
It is absolutely golden.
And these interferences by Dom and Damian are making a lot of sense too,
Yeah. Well, I mean, Judgment Day are now using the numbers game to get advantage of. We've seen it now a lot lately, especially with Finn. And it really goes towards Finn a lot more often than anybody else, if you haven't paid attention to that. It seems like the Judgment Day are helping Finn out more than they are anybody else.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't hate if Finn Balor won here.
Right?
Oh, me neither.
Well, that
but
was
if Finn takes the win here tonight, I wouldn't mind a rematch at Payback. Has there been any matches actually announced for Payback just yet, or no?
No.
I don't think as of yet, no.
And I think we've only got 3 weeks.
September 3rd, I believe, or 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's about
The first weekend of September is where Payback will
Yeah.
be held.
Yeah. We were discussing that weekend because it is one of Kairi Sane's 2 remaining dates in Japan.
And there you have it. Now, by chance, you're following our local establishment here on the Twitch. Because Raw is coming to an end, I will be rating out very soon.
We've got Sammy. Well, I'll just leave it there, but Sammy's come out. Okay.
Is
And it
Sammy
looks
the
like
new?
they're.
You can say, is
Sorry,
Sammy
go
the new
ahead.
faction killer? Starts the holes or the cracks in the bloodline. Now he's decimating the Judgment Day.
Sammy just stands up for what is right, man. But we get JD McDonough coming in, and it looks like there's acceptance from the entire Judgment Day.
With some trepidation from Damien, though.
Yeah. But an acceptance, nonetheless.
Yep.
Follow. And it's so weird because I always thought JD looked small in NXT. And now he's on the roster here. He does not look small by any means.
Not at all.
No, I remember him in NXT UK, and he looked really tiny there.
Mm-hmm. And there is a specificness right now of this post-match beatdown of Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn, with Finn Balor being the guy to do it. I am wondering if they are setting up for a War Games type scenario.
JD, well, JD's the fourth man, so. And I've wondered that too, because I've been saying for months that it's going to be Judgment Day against somebody,
Yeah.
but I couldn't pinpoint who the fourth man would be, and it's clear that it's JD.
Yeah, and then is it going to be Cody, Seth, Kevin Owens? But at the same point, if Seth is worried about Shinsuke, who is their fourth man?
Dom taking off his off-white shirt.
So if you're following our local establishment on the Twitch side of things, you will be rated to good friend Mike the Ref. So go say hi, show him that OLE way, and tell him who sent you, and that is Chris Parrish, OMD, and Chris Best of the Monday Night Watch Along. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy that. So yeah, you'll be rated there in about 7 seconds time.
So I'm not sure if JD's officially in because he's just standing at ringside.
Yeah.
And there's the raid because I heard it on my phone.
And you can turn that down if you want. Thank you.
Yeah, I did. I totally forgot I had my phone on Twitch. So I was saying that at the end there, we had JD standing at ringside, so I'm not quite sure if he's fully in yet. I guess we'll find out next week.
Yeah, he's...
Or if he's just maybe like an honorary member like the New Age Outlaws were before they officially joined DX.
Or Sammy Uso?
True. Except Sammy actually was part of it. Yeah, Sammy was officially part of it.
He was an honorary Uso. He was all that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So before we go down, I just want to ask, what was everybody's takeaway of Monday Night Raw? Whether it was something you liked, something you disliked, what was the one thing that stood out for you? We'll start with OMD.
I thought it was a fantastic show. Everything flowed smoothly. The same drawbacks as always of people waiting in the ring while we cut to a backstage interview and a vignette. But less commercials this time. I thought it was a fantastic show.
Yeah, I thought everything flowed. I thought everything flowed very smoothly with this show. There was a lot of setting up for what we're going to see at Payback, and I'm starting to put the pieces together on what to expect out of that show.
Yeah.
And before we head off, we just want to shout out our good old friend Karl Karufel, who could not be here tonight, but will be back, I believe, next week. You can make sure that you go and support him at Turnbuckle Studios by going to his Redbubble at karlkarufel.redbubble.com, where, yes, you can see the OMD's locker room t-shirt. You can see the Monday Night Raw watch long shirt in there, as well as much as a lot of other good things. And also go make sure you check out collarandelbowbrand.com, promo code JK Podcast for your 10% off. And then also make sure you're saying hi to the partnership that is realwrestling.net, as Turnbuckle Studios is partnered up with realwrestling.net there. Start, I guess, with Chris Best. Where can the people find you?
All right, guys. So you can find me youtube.com at ChrisDamage83. CBRS Entertainment is the name of the channel. Twitch TV, CBRS_entertainment. Find me on threads.net at CBestFilms83. And follow me on Facebook at Chris.Best83, where I am working on posting anything that OLE does, wrestling news, any kind of discussion, things that really interest you. Or interest me, I should say.
And OMD, where can the good people find you? As your ticker is down below.
As always, you can find me on Snapchat, One Man Dynamic, capitals on the OM&D. You can find Facebook, Daniel Horisic, and now you can find me on Twitch at OMD17. Coming up this week, I am awaiting word as to whether I will be appearing on Turnbuckle Talk tomorrow night with Karl and Chris Best. And as well, this coming Thursday, you can catch me hosting the Boar's Nest as Bubba Duke is experiencing technical issues.
And for me, you can follow me here on the X at Chris Parrish, the Instagram and the threads at Chris.Parrish, the Twitch at the Chris Parrish, YouTube at Chris Parrish, and Kick at kick.com/Chris Parrish. And then for the OLE, make sure that you're checking out our local establishment on the X at OLE Pods, the Instagram at OLE Pods, the Twitch at twitch.com/our local establishment. We have a TikTok at our local establishment. Don't ask me how to use it because I have no idea. We are also on Kick at our local establishment. We have a Discord link there. Make sure you join up and say hi. We also have a YouTube account at our local establishment, as if you're watching through the OLE you're watching through YouTube. So we appreciate that. Any other concerns or comments, you can reach us at olepodcast@gmail.com. And any parting words for anybody before we head out?
No, I'm good. Ladies and gentlemen, you have yourselves a wonderful night.
And keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars, as Casey Kasem once said.
And in the words of our good friend Karl Karufel, the world is a scary place. Take care of one another.